Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. It's fantastic, it's spooky, just another day for me to tell stories and go on random philosophical rants, I guess. Today's going to be a little bit different, although it is Halloween season anyways. Spooky season is above us, and I have a spooky couple of topics to go over. Well, couple is meaning 3 today. What I have are different materials that I've been watching online with like hauntings and such. One of them has to do with a lot of the folklore that goes on, and then the second one has to do with actual issues behind with that person and why they do these crimes and what that really means for the horror community as is. And the last one really has to do with just spooky stories overall, right? When people go out there and they're real, but they seem maybe like they might be fake. So with the first one being lores in history and such like that, what happens is people create stories and then they're brought up, and sometimes we don't know if they're true or not. So when we start to read or we start to learn more about these stories, we just figure out in our mind what's really going on and sort out anything in between as well. For an example, when I'm watching stories on YouTube about lores, like the one Dracula lady that started hurting people and like killed them and then like left her in the basement and then like bathed in their blood, stuff like that, drank it, like that's disgusting. If you're that one kid when you were growing up that like had a wound on your hand, like maybe another kid knocked you down, you started like sucking it, like you know that instantly, just like to get rid of it and such, it's sort of gross. And you don't really do that ever again. But if you're a really sick and twisted person like this folklore chick, you might go and actually take it to the extreme. So one day when you grow up, you'll start drinking the blood of your victims. And literally it gets a bit scary at some points too. So these stories often go hand in hand with sensationalism. And not many people know if all these stories are just sensationalized or not. They're just like some type of wave that we've created just to have an extended period of horror and scary thoughts inside of our minds, while we continue to have fun in appreciating it as a whole and maybe glorifying it, which I'm not sure. I don't think that's right. Power to you if you feel really comforted in it. And that's something that I'd like to bring up, is that these videos on YouTube that we watch make us feel comforted because they have almost made it seem like just an entertainment purpose, and that's totally it with it. Like, we're watching this and we want to know, number one, is it real? And number two, are you screwing with us right now when we watch this video? Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of sensationalization, not just with the folklores, it's with like stuff that's like in between that we don't know. They've taken something that was actually real and now they've made it to like nullify it, where it's like we don't know, and then it turns into another lore again because of these people that are just shafting the whole community that want to see something and learn more, and you know, ones that have actually had similar experiences going into these things. People who haven't had something terrifying happen to them and we watch these videos, we almost immediately know that they're fake, but some people want in their head, I know that it's real, I want it to be real, so they believe it. Like a piece of dust floating in front of my camera, which has happened a few times, will actually look like a little glowing sun that goes in front of something. And it's like an orb, but it's not really because it's a piece of dust. My bedroom has dust in it sometimes. It floats around in the room. So how can I really say that that's something that's real? And that's why the community has sort of been shafted by the people that go out and create these stories and then leverage themselves by making it seem more like entertainment. My feelings and thoughts on entertainment as a whole, to take away from what it is, are actually like, you don't go out there and you entertain yourself with spirits and dead things. Although there are times when you can pay respect to them, going out there and just entertaining yourself on people who have been in insane asylums, people who have been tortured inside of other buildings, or even like the Westminster House as well too. Those are terrifying places to be. There's like, I hear there's doors inside of that one house, for an example, that lead nowhere because that family was so crazy to have like too much going on. That might be another folklore as well too, because someone went insane and decided to make it like that. There's also people that believe in voodoo and everything in between. But when it comes down to it, using the dead people as entertainment is really selfish, and I feel they may need to be respected because we have to like protect ourselves from like, we don't want stuff coming back to our homes and being like, hey man, I'm just gonna have my little bogey, I'm just gonna like chill out, which back in my day, bogey just meant like cigarette. I don't even smoke, just people said it all the time. I don't know what it means nowadays. Probably saying something derogatory towards ghosts and like paranormal people that go out there and like rip people off. If I were to call them something, they would definitely be just the ash of a cigarette that just like falls on the ground and like dies afterwards and turns into a million pieces of dust. And then in the end too, the real stories that are out there, which would have to be with people with mental disorders. I feel this adds a new appreciation to mental disorders itself, and it's almost comforting with the way that they speak. And what I mean by that is the commentators on YouTube that are delivering the stories to the people that are watching it. And then on top of that too, with the people that feel so in depth and within themselves with their mental disorders, psychosis of some sort. I feel like these mental disorders are actually really comforting for those people because they see it as something that's real. Right? Just like the feeling of loving or just that really immense feeling of wholeness just exerted out from what we have and put out there in the universe. And then we totally believe these things that are coming in at us. And that's like really scary and can have stigma upon the psychotic. And we don't want to hurt them or harm them. We want to in fact benefit them as well too. For an example, the one guy on TikTok that goes on about his schizophrenic beings that he sees, he draws them down and everything. And he gets to like to the idea that these are like real creatures inside of us that we're just unable to put out there. And it makes sense because that's how schizophrenic is. See it as like a spiritual experiences. In a lot of cases people do have that. I've had like similar experiences personally. Like I feel like some things that I say are like a gift from like the outer world, and you know, much of these people have been respected in other communities and they should maintain that as well too. We don't want to bring them down, we want to keep them flowing. This isn't to take away from other people that don't have anything going on that's psychotic or otherwise those types of illnesses, neurodivergencies, I would say nowadays. If I'm incorrect today, I'm apologizing for the future, just for the record. We don't want to take out other people inside of like what we have with humans, and we need to keep them. So don't go like killing people. And if you feel like you may be at risk to doing that, or something's like telling you to do it, or you have that idea, you know, glorifying these things, growing up watching horror stuff and like being engulfed in it was more terrifying and scary than anything for me. So not everyone's like that, and that's totally fine. Go be you and have fun. Thank you very much for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would absolutely love that. As I am growing my channel, we need to grow more people inside of the community. And if you have a story that you'd like to share, please share it. People want to know. I know I've had experiences, stuff that I feel that may have been uninvited, have invited themselves around, and then we have to bring out the ritualistic materials, i.e. sage and a seashell, and a little bit of feathers. Thanks for watching. Bye.